Good morning, everyone. Hey. It is Wednesday. Let's see, I feel like my lighting's really harsh today. Is that a little bit better? Okay. Let's try to get the lighting dialed in. There we go. Good morning, everyone. All right. Let's see. So I was just going over my trading plan and I reorganized my entry indicators. So now I have them organized by non-negotiable, nice to have, and icing on the cake. So I'll show you guys. So this is my trading plan. I just reorganized the entry indicators so that I would have a hierarchy of what has to absolutely be there. I'm starting to organize pretty much everything into a hierarchy, realizing that everything is not equally important. And exit indicators, I have them organized by type, and I took going below the 9 EMA off of here because I'm not, it's definitely, I don't think my trade is going to get to that point, and that's a lagging indicator. So I took that off, but I have 8 indicators, exit indicators left, and I'm trying to figure out if there is a hierarchy of importance. So I'm kind of thinking that through as well. Really trying to dial in on that. Okay, so looking at the scanners today, we have AEHL that popped up, but look at that, it's way below VWAP. No, that's the ATR. Okay, so that's the average true range. I'm going to take that off because that's confusing me a little bit. I had that on there for the aftermarket open. Okay, so it is above VWAP. So we had a nice pullback here before 7 a.m. Wait, I'm going to put the 1 minute. Okay, yep, so you can see on the 5 minute, it's kind of starting to run sideways. On the 1 minute, same thing. Tapping VWAP, tapping VWAP. And the MACD is red. So let's see, what else is popping up today? I mean, AEHL is the big one. WOK, that was on there yesterday. Let's look at the price action below VWAP. So TDIC popped up again. It's like the same players. FCHL. Oops. FCHL. And, well, that's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's below VWAP. Hard to borrow. All right, so we have some stocks popping up, but not really much going on just yet. TDIC. Oops. Okay. OCG. Guess we'll look at some stuff, see what's going on. Okay, so really nothing is really trading above VWAP. Nope. So looking at my entry indicators, I know exit indicators are my goal this week. Okay, but when we look at my entry indicators, I have price above VWAP, price above the 9 EMA, entry, stop, and target identified. The profit loss ratio has to be greater than 1 to 1. I can't risk more than 1% of my account, which is not going to happen with 100 shares because I'm only trading up to $10 a share, and make sure I have sufficient settled funds. Okay, which really isn't going to be a problem after the PDT rule changes. I think Charles Schwab is going to make that change June 8th. I know June 4th is when they the brokers can. Let's see. They announced that it says that their major updates are taking effect June 8th. So all right, so one thing that I'm going to have to do once good morning, Scooter. One thing I'm going to have to do once the PDT rule goes into effect, or maybe before that, is go back to a margin account, which I don't really like having a margin account, but I think I need to do that in order for me to be able to use settled funds. I think I have to do that. So, I'll have to make that change. I don't like the idea of having a margin account, but I want to be able to trade with, unsettled funds. All right, I'm looking at the, so looking at my entry indicators, I know exit indicators is my goal for the week, but I have like so many entry indicators that I feel like it's a lot to look at. So I kind of had them organized by type, but now I sort of have it organized by most important to least important, like the things that absolutely have to happen in order for me to get in. The things that are nice to have and the icing on the cake. So, and I'm still debating about hard to borrow, easy to borrow, because that's not really, I don't know. Is that nice to have, or is that like, oh, that would be great for it to be hard to borrow? I mean, I'd tend to shy away from easy to borrow stocks. Again, it's not a non-negotiable, right? Non-negotiable. These are all non-negotiables. But anyway, this is something that I am constantly revising, updating. But what I'll do is on the last day of May, I'll leave the May one up. I'll copy that one, create a June one, and then I'll only revise the one in June. That way I have kind of a running historical account of what my trading plan was on the last day of that month. And that way I can see how my trading plan evolves over time. I'd definitely like to see how that changes. If you don't have a trading plan, I highly recommend it, because until I started this live stream, I was really honestly not nailing down my trading plan like I should have. But this is making me very accountable to you guys. So I am 100% trying to get this trading plan locked in. And it's good because it's making me realize that I didn't really have some of the things figured out. Of course, exit indicators, let's see, exit indicators, I have 8 of them. I took falling below the 9 EMA off of there because I shouldn't be trading above the 9 EMA anyway, and it's a lagging indicator. So these are my 8 exit indicators. But I need to prioritize them. I keep seeing price hesitation. Okay. So I'll think of that later. Good morning, James. Yeah, it feels kind of slow already. Let's see. Have you been trading since 4 a.m.? Let's see how the stock market is today. It says mixed. No, that was yesterday. How is the stock market? See, this is how I know that AI is not ready to do things on its own, because it just makes mistakes all the time. Okay. Mixed opening. NASDAQ and S&P futures rising, led by a rebound in tech and chip stocks like NVIDIA. Okay. Investors are navigating a higher for longer inflation outlook. NASDAQ futures are leading. Tech rebound. Tuesday's CPI data showed inflation. Yep. Consumer Price Index. That's put out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is part of the U.S. Department of Labor. And I used to work for the U.S. Department of Labor. I didn't work for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, though. I worked for their administrative department. I worked for the Office of the Secretary, Office of the Assistant to the Secretary for Administration and Management, or some really long OSAM. That was the acronym. Worked for them for a very long time. Okay, and but let's see, Consumer Price Index. So that definitely will affect the markets. Let's look at some benchmarks. Let's look at the S&P 500. Looks like it took a big dip overnight. This is the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. Okay. At 4, it started to drop. But if we look at the daily, of course, so yesterday it did take a little bit of a little dip. The Russell 2000, which is, of course, tech stocks, that's a Monday. They'll probably do updates over the weekend. That's a Monday. Oh, you mean for the consumer price index? Well, they're also in, let's see, the producer price index report hasn't come out yet. Okay, the latest number, this consumer price index, I'm on the bls.gov website. Consumer price index for all items rises 0.6 in April, shelter and gasoline up. There are 3 houses for sale on my street. Now, they haven't moved. Well, one just went up for sale, but you can tell that prices are moving more slowly. I live in the city. So the data that they just released is for April, and they'll release the May data next month. But if you want to know what market indicators really are important, you can just go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, and they have, they're the ones that calculate GDP, which is the gross domestic product, the CPI, which is the consumer price index, the PPI, which is the producer price index, and a lot of this data is very important and affects the economy. Or the economy creates the data, and then the data affects decisions made by the Federal Reserve and, all of that. So you can just go to bls.gov and see all of that data for yourself. I think it's really interesting, but okay. So DXF, which is a penny stock. Let's see, DXF. Oops. Yeah, wow. Crickets. Look at everything is just, oh, well, this is the daily chart. Wait a minute. 1 minute. Let's see. WOK, TDIC, OG, C, FCHL, DHF. This is the only one that's kind of doing anything. AE. So let's see. DXF. Let's look at this one. I normally don't trade stocks under $1, but if it has good price action, I will definitely consider it. The float is 3.64 million. No, 3.2 million. The relative volume is only 1.25. It's gapped up more than 10% over the previous day's close, but the relative volume is too low for me. So I will watch it, though, until the relative volume pops up. Because, okay, so let's look at my entry indicators. Let's do this. Price action. Let's see. The price action is above VWAP. Check. The price is above the 9 EMA. Check. Trade structure, entry, stop, and target identified. Well, I don't have a setup yet, so it doesn't meet that. Profit loss ratio 1-to-1. I feel like that goes with this, but yes, we have to have a profit ratio identified. Risk should be less than 1% of the account. Insufficient settled funds. I feel like this is like for every trade. So I have risk management down here. Do I really need to have that in here? I don't think I do. I'm going to take that out. I feel like it's cluttering it up and making it hard. I want enough information, but not too much information. Do you know what I'm saying? How much can I simplify or optimize? I want to take the drag off of my decisions, and I already have the risk parameters somewhere else. So this is where you're seeing me learn live. All right, so let's look at my entry indicators. Okay. All right, so we already determined that this the price above VWAP. It was yep, it's above VWAP. Price above the 9 EMA, it dropped below the 9 EMA. Entry, stop, and target identified. I don't have one. And profit loss ratio at least 1-to-1. Once I've established these things, then I want to make sure that there are no big sellers in the ask, green on the tape. So risk parameter, this probably should be noted. This isn't saying this is going to stop me from trading. It's just saying that I note it. So I think I'm going to put that in non-negotiable. You guys are watching me learn real time, learning in public, right? At 55. Guess we can learn anything at any age, guys. All right. So I'm going to put that at the top. I'm going to put, okay, so good morning. Good morning, Aligos. We are using my entry indicators to analyze potential trades. So, all right, so now here the price is below VWAP and below the 9 EMA, so it's automatically disqualified from an entry. Let's see, TDIC is making a move. No, not really, towards VWAP. Okay, and entry, stop, and target identified, P&L ratio 1-to-1 at least, and hard to borrow or easy to borrow status noted. Nice to have. Volume bar increasing on the entry candle, green on the tape, no big sellers in the ask, and icing on the cake would be MACD. All right, so these are my current entry indicators. Oh, I'm working on my exit indicators this week, and these are, now these, I haven't prioritized them in terms of what's most important yet. I have them organized by type, but there's 8 of them. So I feel like they can't all possibly be equally important, right? And I have pretty much only noticed price hesitation and price not moving up. Those are the 2 that I really have looked at the most. So I think that's probably, you know what? I'm going to ask AI, what are the most important exit indicators? Why not? Let's ask. Whoops. Here, let me pull this off so I can copy it better. Let's see what AI says as far as prioritizing my exit indicators. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. It gave me a prioritization by ranking how early and reliable the signal is. Earlier signals at the top let you exit closer to the high. Later signals are confirmations that the move is already done. So it's saying that the first one should be order flow. Big sellers stacking the ask, earliest real-time signals. Sellers show up on level 2 before the price action confirms. By the time you see them stacking, supply is overwhelming demand. Act on this first. Red on the tape, speed of trade slowing down, candle structure, Top wicks price hesitation. Well, this is very enlightening. Wait, I heard something on the... no, nothing's really popping, guys. DHF, I thought it was moving up, but then popped back down. OCG, let's see what the float's under 2 million relative volume. All right, let's look at this one. This is a potential one. It made a pullback to the 9 EMA. Let's see what's going on. Hold on, I gotta grab my my remote for my little fan here, air conditioner fan. All right, gets hot under the ring light. So let's see, let's pull up the exit indicator, the entry indicators. Whoops, wrong window. Too many windows up. Okay. Okay, price is below VWAP and below the 9 EMA. So that does not meet my... Right away, the price action is telling me nope. All right. But now DXF is popping up, but see the MACD is still red. But that's nice to have, right? Or icing on the cake. But I don't have a setup. I don't have a setup identified. So let's see. Is this hard to borrow? Hard to borrow on Thinkorswim. So that's good. Earnings today, LIDR. Let's take a look. Ooh, all right. Nice. That was way further down on the top gainer scanner. It hadn't moved up yet. Oh, this is great. Okay, so let's take a look at the float is higher. It's 44 million. The relative volume is 4 times the 50-day average. It has gapped up more than 10%. So I want to see the relative volume a little bit higher. And, oops, and see the total volume here is not 500,000 yet. So if we go back to my stock selection, whoops, at the top, the price is under $10, relative volume greater than 5 times the 50-day average. So that is what I'm looking for. Oops. So I want to make sure, I want the total volume to be more than 500,000. And let's see, LIDR, hard to borrow. But I like this price action, so I hope the volume gets up there. It's above the 200 EMA. Let's look at the daily chart. I think I've traded this before. Yep. You can see there's a window up to like $4. So this could go up. Let me take a look here. ELAB popped up again with new news or a report of some kind. Let's see. Oops. Some of my keys are sticky. I have to get the compressed air. Yep. So for LIDR, I want to see the relative volume and the total volume up. Yeah, I'm being more flexible on the float. So here, that would be nice to have, but it's not going to keep me from, oh, you can't see it there. There we go. My stock selection, float under 20 million is nice to have, but it's not going to keep me from trading. But the volume will. Okay, price under $10, relative volume and total volume, that is a deal breaker. So if I see good price action, then I will, you know, jump in. But, you know, sharing my trading plan and trying to trade to it online in real time is forcing me to really question every single thing that I'm doing. It's really forcing me to really forcing me to question things. And it's really forcing me to kind of think about why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know? Yeah, why am I doing what I'm doing? Yeah, it's really forcing me to make to really justify my choices, right? Because I'm accountable now to you guys. And you are keeping me accountable because a lot of you will question, like, what about this? What about this? And of course, I'm hoping that my strategy will evolve as I evolve, right? We all want to keep evolving. But what's the difference between evolving because you're just getting stressed that what you're doing isn't working versus evolving to optimize? Because sometimes I feel like, and I saw this on, I don't know if it was Substack or Reddit, but like after a big loss, I think it was on Reddit, after a big loss, someone was saying like they change everything, question everything. I've done that, you know? I'm like, oh my God, maybe everything I'm doing is wrong. And of course, everything I'm doing can't possibly be wrong. So that's just not possible. So I would wait for LIDR to increase total volume, increase relative volume. This is one of those days where I feel like you have to really like comb through the lists and see what's going on. weird. The list isn't popping up. This is Charles Schwab's pre-market movers list, and it's just buffering. It's not good. All right, AEHL. ELAB. Okay, so ELAB is popping up. I feel like it doesn't have enough of a clean move. On the 5-minute, though, it confirmed above VWAP. Watch out for 3 red consecutive candles after a strong move. Momo has changed direction. Oh, okay. Okay. On which one, though? You mean in general or like on a specific stock? And good morning. Well, I would want, that's what I'm looking at for a pullback, right? So are you talking about like a bull flag pullback? That's what I usually look for a bull flag pullback or a micro pullback. I look for a strong leg up, right? The pull of the flag. Is that what you mean, Wayne? And then, right. Yep. I want the strong move up, the pull of the bull flag. Then you want the pullback, which is maybe 3 red candles, right? And then I'm looking for a breakout over that. But I don't see any strong moves today. Everything's kind of up, LADR, but still the total volume is not over 500,000. So I'm going to wait on LIDR. I want to see more volume moving into LIDR. Just looking at the top gainer scanner on Warrior Trading. And so the relative volume on LIDR is now over 5 times the 50-day average. So now I'm just waiting for total volume. I don't see news though. Looks like they put out an 8K yesterday. News about an 8K. Yeah, it's pretty slow. But this is the time to work on, to learn, right? This is definitely the time to learn. But I'm not really seeing strong moves from anything. So ELAB popped over 500,000 in total volume. Let's see, are these all hard to borrow? I might as well look at them all at the same time, right? It's probably the easiest way to do it. Okay, they're all hard to borrow. everything's below VWAP except LIDR and ELAB. Those are the two that are above VWAP. So ELAB just barely meets my, wait, let me see, how's the relative volume on that? Wow, what a snooze fest today, guys, huh? So the relative volume on ELAB isn't 5 times the 50-day average yet, so that would keep me from getting into. Yeah, that's true, right? I'm telling you, it's like the algorithms just move so quickly. Like, it's so crazy. I remember the first time where I put an order, I had an order on the ask, and then I put an order on the ask, and then an order popped up right above it. And then I took the order off, and the order disappeared. And then I put an order on the ask, and an order popped up right above it. I'm like, really? So right now, LIDR, the total volume is too low for me. It's really slow moving. But this is an opportunity, if you're new to reading level 2 and the tape, watching the slower moving stock is a great opportunity to see how that works, right? So if we look at LIDR, at the top of the ask, we have an order at $2.40 for 500 shares. So if we see green on the tape, I mean, there are hidden sellers and buyers, of course. But okay, so 245. Look at the spread too. It's 240 on the bid and 245 on the ask. And that's partly because it's slow moving. There's less demand. But you can kind of see the orders pop up. It's moving so slowly, right? And then you see these larger sellers up here and the smaller sellers here. Was it last week? I think it was Monday or Friday, we finally had a discussion about what exactly a large seller is. And that was such a helpful discussion. One of our viewers said that they considered a seller large if the order was more than 0.2% of the float. And then some of the research that I looked up said a big seller would be like 5 times the orders around it. But you can see 240, selling at 240, selling at 242, selling at 239. So I did 3 videos. For those of you who are like brand new to level 2 in tape reading, I will be honest, it took me a really long time and I'm not an expert at it. But I did 3 videos, one on the level 2 here, giving a very basic explanation, one on the tape, again, a very basic explanation. And then I just did this weekend a video on how to use them together. Super basic. Like, I'll do more complicated videos about it going forward. As I get better at it, I'll do better videos and more like beyond the beginner level as I evolve as a trader. But, you know, learning to look at them together is really helpful. And just in general, looking at like the colors, I mean, you can see here it's mostly red, right? So what does that tell you? Mostly selling. On Thinkorswim, they only have 2 colors, red or green. They don't. Some brokers have a color for like orders in between the spread, and I wish Charles Schwab did that. Yeah, definitely cut losses quickly. That's this week. What's my goal, guys? This week's goal, exit indicators. That's what I'm working on over at Substack. That's kind of like my think tank, my lab. where I work out my weekly goal. So I'll be doing my midweek check-in over there. And exit indicators, I'm hoping will tighten my losses and let my winners go. Yeah, and they're not supposed to do that, I guess. Like, yes, they'll put like a big order on there just to kind of manipulate the perception. The other thing is there are hidden sellers and buyers. Like Russ Cameron, who I follow, I take his classes, I use his scanners, full disclosure, I'm a Cameron wannabe. He he talks in his classes about hidden sellers and hidden buyers and how to see them. I really want to do a video on that. I have to make a note about that. I have my paper journal, and I always kind of take notes as the day goes on, so that when I'm doing my recap, and if there's something that you guys mention also. So, but I also have like a running list of video ideas. And how to see hidden buyers and sellers. I just started to be able to see it. But like some brokers will allow you to place a hidden sale. And if you see the orders on the tape, like, so for example, at the top of the ask, we have an order for 700 shares at 242. If you see orders going through at 242, but you don't see this number change, this go down, that could be a hidden seller. Now, green means they're buying from here, 241. So that might be a hidden seller somewhere, because look, all this buying at 241, but we don't see 241 here. That's between the spread. Could be a hidden seller. That the green. So if you see green, they're buying from the sellers. It's who initiates the transaction. Yeah, but that definitely happens. You definitely see people, you'll see orders manipulating the level 2 for sure. And I'm sure some people put orders on, take them off, change their mind or whatever. That's normal, right? But when you see these massive orders that pop on and off, that looks like manipulation, right? So LIDR is making a pullback, but the total volume is under 500,000, so I'm going to wait to get in. But it is interesting to kind of watch the level 2 and the time and sales. Now, on the bid side, those are people that are putting orders because they want to buy shares. So on the tape, that'll read as red because people are selling, they're initiating, they're selling to buyers that have orders up already. That took me a while to get. And I think it was Ross Cameron that said he looks at the chart as the past, right? Because that's historical price action. The tape is the present because the orders are popping in real time at the top. And the level 2 is the future because these haven't happened yet. These are just people saying, I want to buy at this price. I want to sell at this price. So ELAB is moving. Let's see. And it just popped up above 500,000 shares in total volume. Let me see if the relative volume is there. The relative volume is not there for ELAB, so I will wait on that. For me, I'm beginning to really prioritize price action and volume. Those are the two things that I've really been prioritizing, which is why on my trading plan, I'm trying to prioritize which things are most important and which things are least important. Because everything can't be important, right? So ELAB doesn't have enough relative volume for me. But again, you can watch, see it's got a larger spread because it's slow moving, less demand, less volume pumping through. You can see how slowly it's moving on the tape. See, selling. Now, okay, we have an order here for 211, 400 shares. So someone's buying shares at 210, selling at 208, buying at 210. These are happening between the spread. The orders start at the top. Okay. Ooh, look at all that selling at 207, 208. That's selling to buyers. Okay, and then now the top of the bid is 206. Look at that. Big amount of selling. 206, 206. Let's see if these orders go down. 206. Another order for 100, 206. Selling at 206. Red on the tape. Look at that. Red, red, red. All this. These are people selling potentially to buyers. I mean, they could be market orders too. A little bit of buying and now selling. Oh, another little burst of buying. Now selling. And you can see that the price is dropping, right? Here it says 205. And look at that. It's dropped below VWAP. And here we have, now it's like a mixture of red and green, more red than green up here. 203, selling it, buying at 204, selling at 203. People are selling. These are people selling potentially to buyers. There's an order for $2,000. Someone wants to buy $2,000 at $2.03. They're looking to buy. So someone needs to sell shares to them at 203. Buying at 204. But now the price is 205 at the top of the bid. See that? So if people want to buy shares, now the sellers want to sell them for 205. Oh, buying at 204. So that's between the spread. Buying at 205. Something's moving. So FCHL, that has good news. Oh, and it's above VWAP. All right, so let's see. The relative volume is good, the gap is good, the float is good, and FCHL has news. Ooh, okay. Now look at this. Look at the activity on the level 2 and the time and sales. It's going crazy, and the spread's only 1 penny. All right. So here, I'm going to look for, wow, look at this, guys. It's running up. I'm going to get a 10-second chart going because I'm going to look for, what is this, FCHL. I'm going to look at this on the 10-second chart. All right. So we are at a high of 234. So here we have, yep, everything looks good on this one. Dark pool. Yes, there's a book. Thank you for mentioning it. There's a book that's on my list called Dark Pools. I haven't read it yet. I'm going to be doing a lot of book reviews this year. I did one on Ross Cameron's book because that was the first trading book I read, and I've read it like 4 times. It was so inspirational for me. But I just did a review on Andrew Aziz's book, How to Day Trade for a Living. That's going to be coming out on Saturday morning. And I'm going to be doing a lot more book reviews. So I will be, Dark Pools is on my list, Scooter. Yeah. Yeah, my trading plan is, you know, it's evolving, but you guys are keeping me accountable. But yes, everyone should have a trading plan. Let me put my light up a little bit. Looks a little dark in here. Okay, everyone should have a trading plan. I absolutely had one, but I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, which I am ruthlessly questioning every single thing on my trading plan. All right, so let's see. Huh. So FCHL is pulling back. The 200 EMA is very high. This is the top of the low candle. This is the bottom of the low candle. So this is a profit loss ratio I can get on board with. Lots of buying on the tape. Lots of buying on the tape. The volume bars are pulling back. I would want to see that it goes above 211. And then I would look for an exit indicator. And I want that volume bar here underneath to confirm that the price is going up. But I'm looking at the level 2 to look for, I'm looking for, okay, it didn't quite make it. So I guess this is it was like a false breakout kind of. So this is the top of the low candle. And if the price drops below the 9 EMA, I'm not going to trade it. But, oh, let's see. Is it going to tap VWAP? So this was like maybe a false breakout. I think a lot of people are, there's a lot of volume going through right now. Look at this. Look at all the volume. You can see it's just going crazy, right? But now the volume, in my opinion, is kind of going the wrong way. There's more volume on this red candle than there was here. So it's kind of pulling back. I see a big, oh, I just saw a big seller on the level 2. Things are happening very quickly. I would need to see it go over 208, and I would need to see lots of, like, good volume on the volume bar. So now this is the low candle, the top of the low candle. Interesting. The price is above the 9 EMA now because I want it to be above the 9 EMA and above. Oh, it's breaking out, I think. Didn't catch my order, so I'm going to cancel that. Interesting. Oh, I didn't realize I had it on. Okay, that's my bad. But I'm not going to click again because look, the volume bars aren't. Well, that saved me. A mistake saved me because I forgot to put it on extended hours. Thank you, universe. Thank you, universe. See? Everything happens for a reason sometimes, guys. I'm going to look at this on the 5-minute. And now it's below the 9 EMA and VWAP, and the MACD is flipping red. Boy, am I glad I didn't get in. That was so stupid that I forgot to put extended hours here. So dumb. But it saved my butt, right? I'll take that dumb move. All right, SLS. Let's take a look. SLS. No. WHWK. What is this? WHWK. Okay, let's see. It's easy to borrow. So, one of my non-negotiable checks is it easy to borrow or hard to borrow? It won't stop me from trading it, but it's something to consider because there'll be more downward pressure on the price action. If you're not sure what easy to borrow, hard to borrow is, I did a video on that. I'm trying to do videos on everything. I have a lot of videos to do for this weekend, which I post my explainer videos and my book reviews on non-trading days. So like I'm traveling the first week in June and my flight is booked right during my trading window. So I might be able to trade in the lounge before my flight leaves, but I won't be able to live stream. So I'll post a video that day as well. So WHWK is easy to borrow. Like I said, it won't stop me from trading. It's just something I want to know going into it. Okay, so this is well above the 200 EMA. And thanks to Duvan Julio for this script, guys. And I don't see like a window for a while, so I wonder if this is blue sky. I wonder if this is blue sky. Has anyone taken any trades today? I haven't taken one trade yet. Whoops. What's that? All right, let's see what else is popping up. Whoops. Oh, okay. I was trying to. I wonder if I can make this. How do I make this? So now, I don't know why. So on Thinkorswim, they have this watch list, but it's just buffering. That's kind of weird. WHWK below VWAP, and it dropped below 9 EMA. So that wouldn't work for me. So let's take a look at our list right now. Let's take a look. There's too many things cluttering it up. FCHL hovering below VWAP, TDIC, same thing. A lot of these, oops. LIDR. LIDR is just like, it's above VWAP, but it's below the 9 EMA. All right, WHWK, DFX. So I'm just going to clean this up. I've got too many things going on here. Where did LIDR go? Whoops. So I'm just going to clean this up. I mean, FCHL. Yep. Dropped below. MACD is red. Same here. Below the VWAP, below the 9 EMA. And LIDR is above VWAP and is just consolidating sideways, kind of. I'm looking at the top gainers list, trying to see if there's anything interesting popping up. EXFY, what's that? EXFY, oops. Nope. Trading silver. Okay. Futures, like, do you trade silver futures? I'm very interested in getting into scalping gold futures. That's on my list of 855 things to learn. Along with a million things in this book, in this notebook. I'm almost done with my notebook, but I did get a new journal. And this time, I know that my viewers are mostly male, so you probably don't care, but this time I got green to match my Trade with Raven banner, and green is also my favorite color. So I'm almost done with my journal, so I can open up my new journal soon. All right, so what should, okay, so okay. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in gold futures. Like I invest in precious metals for the long term, like actual precious metal. But that's of course a long-term investment. But for day trading, I'm really interested in eventually getting into gold and silver. That's one of the reasons I have it on my list, of course, my benchmarks list, but I just have been, investing in precious metals for years as long-term investing, and I'm interested in getting into it for futures. So do you do silver, SLV, ETF? Okay. I'm definitely interested in that because it's something that I'm more familiar with. So SLV, let's take a look. SLV. It's so closely tracking the silver futures. Look at that. Got it. There you go. Silver bear. Well, silver, like over the last 5 years, crazy, right? Like I was buying silver 5 years ago for under $20. It's just mind blowing. Mind blowing. So, I mean, precious metals, I feel like when I first went to business school many, 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 many years ago, I graduated in 2002, and I took all my electives in finance and accounting except for two, which were entrepreneurship and investing. And the investing class gave me the investing bug. And I was like, I want to trade commodities. I want to trade gold. I want to trade silver. I want to do Forex. Um, and of course, I couldn't move to Chicago, where the Chicago Board of Trade was. But now everything's online, and access to investing is easier than ever. So, oh my God, 1972. Oh my God. Yeah, my parents were buying gold in the 80s, and that was really big, and I actually true story, when my mother passed, I found some like charms that, because it was really big. Like people were buying gold and having gold parties in the 80s. And I remember I found some charms like the evil eye, like my mother was Italian, the evil eye, like little charms, because they were buying gold and selling it. They were having gold parties. That's what people were doing. Nothing yet, Scooter? Okay. I mean, everybody is like just kind of in a holding pattern, but this is where I think a lot of the learning happens, right? So it's like, let's just keep learning, right? I'm trying to uh, set it up so that I have like a counter um, on my screen showing how many trades I've taken for the day. So that you guys can just at a glance see like trades for the day 0, trades for the day 3, you know? There's like probably a million ways to do it. I'm just Googling that. QUCY secures exclusive autonomous drone platform as Trump administration seeks $55 billion for drone warfare. I'm a fan of anything drone related. So let's look at QUCY because I feel like that's not going anywhere, you know? Wait a minute. Am I reading that right? QUCY. Okay, there we go. All right. So this one is a penny stock. The float is 12 million, relative volume, gap good. It has great news. Great news. So let's see. The high is here. Let's see. It is hard to borrow. The total volume is 37 million. Holy smokes. Okay, so you have a prop account. I'm really curious about that too. I'm wondering how many of you actually trade in prop accounts. I know a lot of people do. I've heard that it's a great way to learn. How has your experience been so far, Scooter? Like, would you recommend it? All right, so let's look at so we're almost hitting the 200 EMA. The daily 200 EMA is at 66 cents. And it tapped right up here to 65. So that's clearly a point of resistance, but we have a window here. It went up to 80. So let's see. I used to say I won't trade penny stocks, but I learned that price action and volume are more important. So I'm not being as rigid as I was about penny stocks. I missed a really good penny stock a couple of weeks ago because I was being so rigid about it. And now I'm really starting to see that price action matters more than anything, and also volume. If I see good price action, I'm going to take it. So it popped up, pulled back below VWAP, tapped the 9 EMA. Now it's above VWAP. It's above the 9 EMA. The MACD looks like it's going to flip red though, because it's kind of consolidating sideways. Let's look at the 5-minute. So in the 5-minute, we had this algo spike, I guess, and then it's driving up slowly. But so it had a run up, pull back. I missed that one. So now here we're at the high of the last move. This is the top of the low candle. Oh, looks like it's breaking out. I didn't really have a chance to look for a setup there. Yeah, how many of you trade with prop firms? Like, I'm curious about that too. So I missed this move because I didn't really have a setup, but this profit loss ratio wouldn't have worked for me anyway. I want to see a 1-to-1 profit loss ratio. That's so here, if it meets my criteria for stock selection, I'm looking for one of these setups. And then I need this 1-to-1 profit ratio at least. That's the minimum. I'm not going to be able to scale up if I don't have more profitable trades. I can tell you that. That's going to be a bottleneck for me. I'm cutting my winners too soon, guys. All right, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Come back for potential news coming out at the bottom of the hour. So sit tight. I will see you in about 5 minutes, guys. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Microphone, glasses. All right. I've got more tea. I've got my vitamins. Got to keep things going, people. All right, so let's see what's going on with QUCY. It's kind of popped up again. MACD is still red. This is why I don't place a lot of stock in the news, because I thought this was great news, but so on the 5-minute chart, this is the low. I don't like this profit loss ratio. I would have to stop out at VWAP to make this work. But even then, 3 cents, 2 cents, it's still not a great profit loss ratio. I would have to tighten my stop on that to make it work. FCHL. FCHL. EXFY. LIDR finally broke over 500,000 in volume, but this is too slow moving for me. Is this halted? No. It's like, what? It just, or my computer froze. All right, WHWK had a pop up and then it just died out. I think QUCY has potential, but see, it did have a breakout here, but it popped right up to this level. And the MACD is red, which I don't like. I don't love that. I'm interested in the same question. I've heard that they have a lot of rules and guidelines, and I've Googled it. That's where I got some of my own rules from. I'm like, I know I've heard that risk management is very tight. ERNA popped up, but it's over $10, so that's a no-go for me. That's over my price right now for small caps. I reduced my max share price because I scaled everything back. Let's see. Wow. Real downer of a day, guys. All right, so all right. Yeah, today's really like low, huh? Low energy. Um, yeah, real low energy today. Stock futures are mixed. So at the market open, I'm going to switch my strategy, which I've been doing all week. I'm going to switch to practicing the opening range breakout with one share. Yesterday I did 10, but I think I should just do one share to practice. And yep, I'm going to be practicing opening range breakouts with mid and large cap um, equities at the market open because I've really been struggling with small caps at the market open. So I've been thinking for a while, should I just not trade at the open? But then when I read Andrew Aziz's book and he talked about the opening range breakout and he only trades after market open and he day trades, I was like, this is possible, just maybe not small caps. So, and other people might have great success with small caps after the market opens. I was having great success with it, but I think some of that was beginner's luck, honestly. I was just like, the market was hotter, and I was also having much crazier swings. I was having bigger losses too. So, but I was doing better accidentally. It's crazy how you can do well when you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so there's a tech rebound. Let's look at the Russell. It says there's a what? Look at that. Big red candle. This is the S&P. Big red candle. Bitcoin's back down to 80. Ugh. I was hoping it would break 85, but so let's look at SLV. Let's QQQ dropping, SQQQ moving up. I know a lot of people trade QQQ. A lot. That's like really popular, right? Some people just trade that. That's another possible strategy, right? Is like focusing in on one or two stocks at the open, and that's kind of where I'm headed in terms of thinking about my potential strategy. What just came off of my list here? Something just came off my list. I don't know what it was. Oh, Bitcoin. Is it, no. Which one is Bitcoin? That's Bloomberg. see, what did I have here before? Is that right? No. There we go. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, some people only trade certain tickers, and they really focus on that. So I'm interested in that. That sounds like a really simplified game plan. Really get to know one or two tickers and just trade those. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get a trade every day, but that seems like a pretty consistent strategy, which is a nice balance to the chaos of small caps. I mean, I like small caps and I want to keep doing that during the pre-market. But after the market open, I feel like there's so much volatility. I just really struggle with the small caps. So I also like trading small caps after the market close. Yeah, so I was looking at TSLL, which is also, you know, one of those that is like leveraged. BTCL, let's take a look. So that's the one that's leveraged, right? All right, so you only trade the Qs like QQQ, this one very popular to trade. Yeah, so I'm expanding my strategy for sure. So pre-market, I'm going to stay with small caps, but lately it's been a desert, right? Honestly, nothing has been popping up lately. However, after the market opens, I feel like I want to expand my strategy a little bit and still trade momentum. Oh, FCHL is making a move, guys. I'm too much of a baby to short stocks. That sounds really scary to me. Like, really scary. Okay. All right. What's his name? Eligos, put it in the chat so that we can find him. It's interesting because, you know, there's more than one path to the top of the mountain, right? Like, the more I learn about trading, the more I realize I really don't know that much. I've been doing this since last year, February, and it's been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey. Um, and I'm just, the more I get to know the people in the community, like you guys, I'm like, wow, you all have different ways of doing this. And there's just more than one way to do it. I love that. So FCHL kind of tried to pop back up. Now, like VWAP, it was a little bit below VWAP. Now it's above, but the MACD is just kind of flipping back and forth between red and green. QUCY, all right. It's just tapping this level, right? Right around here. Let's see. If we put that right around here, right around 64 cents, just keeps tapping that level. LIDR hovering above VWAP, really slow moving. EXFY, again, very slow moving. The volume, total volume is not even 500,000. I'm going to take that off my list here. LIDR, really just not enough movement for me. So I'm going to take that off my list. FCHL, this has positive. QUCY has a ton of people trading it, but look at the volumes decreased a lot. It's just steadily decreasing. And MACD is red. And here FCHL. Trade your edge. Oh, I think someone mentioned him before. Trade your edge. Was it you that mentioned him before? Okay, cool. I subscribed. Yeah, if you guys have YouTubers that you follow that you think would kind of mesh with what I'm doing, or the rumors, yes. The rumors, thank you. That was the one. All right, subscribe to them too. Yeah, if you guys have channels that you think would mesh with my strategy, or anyone else here would benefit from, please mention it in the chat for sure. You know. All right. I've got to go through, when I switch to my new notebook, I've got to go through my old notebook and see what I need to transfer from this notebook. It's so crazy because I've had this notebook for a while now. I've had this notebook since September. I used to be like a big bullet journaler. JDUB. JDUB. Oh, thanks, Wayne. Okay. Okay, because I was practicing with the 5-minute and then looking at the 15-minute. Okay. For the opening range breakout. Yeah. Thanks, Eligos. Yeah. Trader TV Live. Trader TV Live. I'm writing these down so that I can check them all out later. Yeah, so what I'll have to do is I'll have to go through my notebook when I transfer to my new notebook and see like what. Oh my God, this is my trading plan from October, handwritten down. I mean, it hasn't changed that much. The gist of it has changed, but I mean the basics haven't changed. I took a lot of notes from Warrior Trading's classes. He talks too fast. That can be hard. Sometimes YouTubers go so fast. I'm like, what did they say? I have to rewind it to find out what they said. I'm a slow learner, and so I need like things really broken down. But yeah, I'll have to, this notebook has been I've been using this one for a while, but I used to be a hardcore bullet journaler, and now I don't really bullet journal other than for trading. Cold markets. Okay. SQQQ or SPXS based on down indicators of the QQQ or SPY. Going to work on back testing the strategy this week. Okay. All right. So that's interesting to bring up that you are looking for something to trade in a colder market. Do a lot of you have like a strategy for a hot market and a strategy for a cold market? That's interesting. So, Eligos, you're not the only one. Wayne's like, yeah, he talks too fast. I mean, it's hard because some of this stuff is so technical. Like, it needs to be slow enough that we can digest the information as it's coming in. You know, the YouTuber knows what they're trying to communicate, but they have to remember like the people listening are trying to take all this information in. Wow, guys, haven't taken one trade yet today, but that's the way it goes, right? It's the way the market is. Yeah, so during the market open, I'll be practicing the opening range breakout with one share. Stock, jock, and day trading for success. All right, this is great. So now we all have homework, guys. We have to look at all these channels and see which one kind of fits with what our vibe is and our strategy. Thanks, guys. See, this is the kind of sharing that I really, really like on the chat because if I'm curious about something, I'm pretty sure someone else is curious too, right? And that's the value of communicating. SPXS is a 3 times short the S&P. XS, say this 3 times fast. SPXS. I feel like good blood, bad blood, good blood, bad blood. That's it. SPXS. Oh, I've seen that before. The ones that are 3 times leverage though, I'm not an expert on leveraged ETFs, but I was reading that it's easier to trade the ones that are 2 times leverage. Is that because there's less volatility? I don't know. I'm learning about it. SPXS. Why does this keep pulling stuff off of my list? But, you know, let's just, if we look at the S&P 500 today, I think this just gives us a pretty clear picture of what's going on right now. Like, you know, on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute, that, you know, just doesn't look good. So this is giving us a pretty clear picture. But however, look at that. It really dipped low overnight. Well, I guess it always comes back up, right? I guess until it doesn't. AIIO. I took a red trade on that, I think, the other day. Robo AI appoints Abu Dhabi tech executive as CTO of the newly acquired AI data processing company, Neurovia. Just saying Abu Dhabi makes things sound like, ooh, Abu Dhabi. Okay. So the float's under 20 million, but the relative volume isn't there yet. It's only 0.33 times the 50-day average. Right. So all of those leveraged ones, right? Just for daily trading, because otherwise, yeah. Got to take my vitamins. So important to stay in good shape. Yesterday, my daughter and I, she's an adult. She's in college, but we went for a bike ride in the afternoon. It was awesome. The weather was amazing here in New England yesterday. Today it's overcast. So I live in New England, and it's famous for being the weather changing in like 2 seconds. Okay, so the latest date in the calendar year that Boston has ever recorded measurable snowfall is May 10th, 1977. So supposedly we are done for snow for the year. It was a Mother's Day storm, and it dropped a half an inch of snow at Logan International Airport. So it says that snow after mid-April is an extreme rarity, but I remember snow after, yeah, look, 1987. But supposedly there will be no more snow this year. Yes, so that's what I've been learning. So, like for example, if I wanted to trade TSLL, I would look at Tesla for the underlying indicators, right? And this is something that I've been definitely looking at for the market open. I would look at Tesla for the underlying indicators, but I would trade on TSLL because that's leverage and it tracks Tesla. So it sounds like SPXS is doing that for the S&P. Wow, guys, it's like almost 9 o'clock and there's like nothing going on. Literally nothing going on. But hey, this is where the learning happens, right? So at the market open, I'll switch to looking at large and mid cap equities and trying to practice the opening range breakout with one share, because instead of switching to paper trading, I'm going to practice with one share. Okay. Got it. Thank you for explaining that. Thank you, Hedera. Thank you. I am so open to evolving, and trying new strategies. I really thought I wanted to learn swing trading, and maybe eventually I will, but I don't know. There's so much to learn with day trading. So QUCY, and I like the idea of not having my capital tied up. I like the idea of being able to take out my capital and go flat every day. I like the idea of that. QUCY, below VWAP, FCHL, just kind of, look at this. VWAP is so flat. Look at that. And it's just running along VWAP. AIIO. AIIO is kind of moving around, but there's just not enough. I don't think there's enough relative volume. Let me check here. No, the relative volume is 0.38 times the 50-day average. So there's not enough relative volume for that. So I'll hold off on that. Well, this could be a no trade day. I don't know. Although it's happened to me recently a couple of times that I haven't traded anything. Let's see. I think both my trades yesterday were after 9 a.m. I haven't even opened my trader view because we haven't even done anything yet, but let's take a look. All right, let's see. Yesterday, these are my, let's see, oh, that's for the whole year. Yesterday, let's look at yesterday. Yesterday, I had two trades. One was QUBT, one that was after the open. That was trying out the open range breakout, but I used 10 shares. I'm going to switch to one share. And then I had a pre-market trade at 9:18 on COPN. So both of my trades yesterday were after 9 a.m. So we'll see what happens today. Oh, I think I do follow Tori Trades. She does futures, right? And SK Trading, I follow him. Thank you, Scooter. Zip Trader, I'll put that one down. And Humble Trader. Oh yeah, I think I follow Humble Trader on my other YouTube account, but I have to put her on here too. But she's from Canada, right? So some of the stuff, I think she trades in the Canadian stock market, and she's also a swing trader, right? So, but she's very good. There are not that many women in the trading space. I guess if it's good enough for the best trader in history, it's probably good enough for us, right, Wayne? Yeah. I'm not, like, by nature an impatient person. Why is my light being really wacky? I think it's because I keep moving moving to write in my notebook. I'm not by nature an impatient person, but I have been impatient during trading occasionally, and it's always cost me. Always cost me because like it definitely yeah, every time I go to write in my notebook, my camera tries to adjust. It's definitely cost me every time I'm impatient. And I think that it's developing that skill even more now. You know, I've had to really learn to utilize the time um, with learning. So, you know, that's what we're doing. Oh, she does trade US stocks only. She posts great interviews. Yeah, I follow her on one of my other accounts, but I have to add her here as well. She's been around for a long time. I think when one of the videos that I saw, it was her talking about her longer term investments. So maybe that was where she was talking about investing in Canadian securities. But yeah, she's very good. I have a lot. Okay, so I added her to this channel because she was on my other channel. Like before I started, or my other account, because before I started this YouTube channel, of course, I have like another YouTube account that I had. My other, it had like a mix of everything. You know what I mean? This is great, guys. This is exactly the kind of discussion that we want, right? We're sharing information. I have like such a huge list now of people to look into. This is great. Honestly, I really like it. This has really forced me to kind of not only be accountable, but like seek out more information on the internet. I mean, people have been doing this for years and they're on YouTube. Like, let's learn from that. I guess if it's good enough for the best people. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. No liquidity. Okay. Well, interesting. Someone on here is from Britain. Mm, I don't know if he's on today, but he was asking if anyone trades in the London exchange or the European exchanges. So I wouldn't even know how to trade on other exchanges. Canada's beautiful, by the way. I love going to Canada. Guys, you've given me a ton of homework. I have a lot of channels to look up and I have a lot of stocks to look up. So I do, you know, after I'm done with my live stream, I do my recap. Today I have to do my Substack midweek check-in, but after that, when I have remaining time, I just research and read, and you've given me homework. I love it. Oh, okay. How was that trading on the DAX? Now, did you have to use like an international broker for that? Okay. So I really don't swing trade, but um it sounds like, a lot of you do some swing trading. I did before do more. I did more of it before, but now I am more focused on long-term investing and day trading. Oh, North Carolina is beautiful. Um, well, I've heard it's beautiful. I've been to South Carolina, right? Let me see. I've been to Charleston. That's South Carolina, actually. Yeah. So North Carolina is still on my list. I'm trying to get to every state in the U.S. and in 100 countries. That's one of my other life goals, other than making day trading my full-time job. Travel. Okay. U.S. broker for overseas trading. Okay. Yeah, I've been to Montreal a bunch of times. Beautiful city, Quebec, Nova Scotia. Um, Toronto, I've only been to the airport. I have to visit Toronto. But there's like everyone I know that's been to Vancouver raves about Vancouver. But for me, I'm in New England in the US, so for me, Montreal is like a really close drive. Um, let's see. So that's interesting. I mean, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm on the ocean too. I mean, I'm not like right on the ocean. I don't have like an ocean view home, but I am like 2 miles from the ocean. So I love that. I don't think I could live inland. I don't think I could do it. Not permanently. All right. So I don't know, guys. It's like really kind of a learning day, a lesson in patience, right? A lesson in patience. It's like I haven't really seen anything that's tempting me enough. And I do think, I'm curious what you guys think about this, but the longer I trade, the more I say no, because I'm recognizing the ones that don't make sense for me. I'm taking less risk, especially since I started this live stream and this channel. You guys are keeping me so accountable because I'm pretty sure I took way more risk. Like when I look back at my trading history on TraderView, which is the app that I use to track my trades, when I go back to my TraderView, you can see I made way riskier trades and I didn't journal enough. Now I'm journaling every single trade. So, yes, yes, I'm kind of putting that together. Like I guess I'll have my small cap will be, I mean, that can be pre or post market, right? I mean, pre market or regular trading hours. But for the large cap, that will be just during regular trading hours. And yeah, I'm kind of interested because to see how I've started sort of putting it together, and I'll probably post that next week sometime. I want a few more days to practice it, and then I'll put together a plan. Um, yeah, HG, I'm like really excited because then I can get feedback from you guys and you can see, like you said, what I'm doing. Because the more I research it, I was researching yesterday, and like you said, everyone does it so differently. I watched this one video on Substack, and the gentleman was saying he was comparing data on people using the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour QRB and looking at the returns on the long and the short side. And I have to go back and rewatch the video, but it seemed like honestly the longer time frames on the QRB were more profitable. But I can't hang around because of my current schedule. I can't hang around and trade till like noon. I could trade till like 11 some days, but I have other commitments. So, but once I get that kind of nailed in, it doesn't even have to be perfect. I've learned that through doing this channel, that things don't have to be perfect. It's okay to throw them up there and let people give you feedback. I'm always looking for constructive feedback. And so I won't wait for my plan, my post or regular hours trading plan with the QRB to be perfect. I will put that up there next week. How about that? And because everything's a work in progress, right? I really subscribe to the concept of Kaizen. I know it was way overdone, you know, when I was in business school, it was a really popular concept, but honestly, it has been a guidepost for me with everything in life, all of the skills that I've learned. And it has also been a guidepost for me for day trading the last year, where I am looking for continuous incremental improvement. I just want to improve like 1% a day. And today, look at all that we've learned. Okay. Already today, we talked about, everyone shared a bunch of YouTube channels that they follow. So we all learned more resources for learning. We talked about, someone mentioned another book that I can add to my reading list, Dark Pools, which is actually on my reading list, but I forgot about it. So I have to make sure I have everything on my reading list. And we talked about potential strategies for trading leveraged ETFs and the underlying securities. We talked about so many different things today. Oh, interesting. So he trades in the Asian markets, because I subscribed to him. I went over and checked out his channel. But of course, like I said, there's only so many hours in the day. Oh, that's interesting. The Asian markets. Does anybody here trade in the Asian markets? And of course, Warrior Trading, who I take his classes, I use his scanners, I watch his recap every day. So that's always kind of like my first thing to watch is Ross Cameron's recap, because I'm a Warrior wannabe. Okay. It's hard. In the evenings, I have other commitments. I do some coaching for athletes and teaching. So um, I have other commitments. I wish I could trade 24 hours a day, but you know, do you guys have do you put a limit on how much time you spend in front of the charts? I mean, it's different if you're like watching a YouTube video or reading a book. Obviously, those are different activities, but do you put a cap on how much time you spend in front of the charts, watching the charts? I didn't see a recap yesterday. It's funny that you say that, because it looked like he posted a short form video, because usually I watch his recaps in the evening. And I didn't see one yesterday. At least not last night. But, everyone skips a day, I guess. Let me check his channel. I didn't see one. Yep. Wait, 1 day ago. But I think I already saw this. The one where he talks about the huge loss, I think that was Monday's recap. Let me see. I didn't see one yesterday, because I always check in the evening. Yeah, I didn't see it. Maybe he'll catch up today. I mean, he probably has a life outside of this. I mean, we all do, right? We all have real life. I know it's his job, but everyone has to take a day off sometimes. So that's why I'm doing the my like educational explained videos. I call them educational, but honestly, they're educating me as much as you. So I'm doing the videos partly so I can make sure that I understand everything, because if you can explain it, you understand it. So I'm going through a lot of basic concepts, and I'm posting that content Saturdays, Sundays, and trading holidays, or if I have to take a day off. So when I go to Vegas in June, the beginning of June, I will have one day where I will post one of those videos, because I won't be able to. Yeah, you're like, is my YouTube broken? That's the thing, because he almost never skips a recap, and I have literally watched every single video that Ross Cameron has done since probably last April. I started trading in February with paper trading, and I'm not sure, maybe I discovered Ross right at the beginning, and then I have watched literally every video since then, and I'm taking his classes. His classes are, I think they're very good if you're interested in small cap momentum trading. But he goes through other strategies. He goes through a lot of advanced stuff. There's like way more material than you can possibly get through. I'm still going through it all. But I don't watch him trade. I pay for his scanners, because we're trading. He's trading at the same time I'm trading, and then like I said, I read his book 4 times. It's honestly, he was my first exposure to trading, and he has a proven track record. He knows what he's doing, but he's not the only person that knows what he's doing. I'm willing to I'm learning, looking to expand, looking to learn new things. But yes, I am a warrior wannabe, and that's okay. Because if you find something that's working for you, and I also just like his style, he seems like a really good dude. So I'm like a fan of people that have a good heart. I think that's because I'm a mom. So, okay. So, yeah, guys, it's crickets and tumbleweeds. So if something pops up in the next 5 minutes, I might jump in, but I don't trade the 5 minutes before the open, and I won't trade the first 5 minutes after the open. I'll be looking for opening range breakouts. I'll be switching my strategy. Oh, that's interesting. So I just signed up for Forex Factory like 2 weeks ago. Someone mentioned it. It might have been you, HG. And I signed up for it. So I just logged in, and oh, I see the red folder. Okay. The impact can affect trades based on when the news is released. Interesting. So from what I understand, like, news matters a lot more with large caps, right? I'm learning large caps and mid caps. So that's okay. Thank you for that tip. I'm looking at it right now. I see red folders at 8:30 a.m. for the producer price index. We kind of already touched on that. That's data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which I used to work for the Department of Labor. I worked for the Department of Labor for 17 years. I left the federal government last year. Long federal career. I don't know. I guess I could always go back if trading doesn't work out, but I really hope trading works out. But they produce a lot of important economic data, like the consumer price index, the producer price index, GDP, They calculate all of that. All right. So I'm looking here. Oh, this is good. Yeah, I signed up last week or the week before. Does anybody on here trade Forex? That's something that I was extremely intrigued by in business school, and I know people do it, but I haven't done it yet. I was extremely interested in that in business school. Oh, who trades gold and silver futures? Because I'm very interested in gold futures. I'm sure everyone is interested in a lot of things too. That's my problem. I have to narrow it down. Sometimes I'm too much of a generalist. But I'm very interested in gold futures and silver futures or trading gold and silver because I've followed precious metals for so long as a long-term investor. So that makes sense for me. And then, of course, I just always thought it was so interesting um, to trade currency. So so if I look at the calendar, okay. But wait, it had, oh, here we go. It had the calendar for today up. Here we go. Oh, I see. It gives a range. So if I want to just click on just today, it will give just today's data. Fed chair nomination vote. This is great. Now, is it true for those of you who trade with prop firms that you're barred from trading around news? Is that true? So it's nice that they have a folder system. That's one of the things I like about Warrior Trading scanners is that the news is color coded. So like new news is red. And then orange is less new news and yellow is older news. So it kind of gives you an idea of like how time sensitive or time relevant the news is that's coming out. Yeah, I've heard it's really hard to do. I follow, oh, what's her name? There's a lady from England. I think she's in England that I follow. I have to find the channel. Where are my subscriptions? Mindfully Trading. Mindfully Trading. She's I believe she's a full-time Forex trader and a mom. Shout out to trading moms. Okay. And so I've been kind of watching some of her videos, but yeah, it does seem really like challenging. But you know, everyone finds their edge in a different place, right? Brad Trades. I think I follow him. Do I follow him? Let's see. I think I follow him. Brad Trades. No, but I'm going to write that one down to watch too. Brad Trades. There are just so many people out there doing good things. I mean, so yeah, things I'm interested in. Right now, my next step is finding a strategy to trade at the market open because I would like to continue trading 9:30 to 10 a.m. and possibly expanding to 11 a.m. I was sitting here every day 7 to 11, but kind of shortened my window lately. But if it's really hot, I'm willing to stick around. So my next step is looking at mid and large caps to trade the first hour or so of the market open. After that, I would love to get into gold, silver, of course, and maybe take a look at Forex. I know, we're so close. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my my watch list here. And I'm going to add some things that I might look at. But also there's a large cap scanner on Warrior Trading. So I'm going to pull that up. Let's see. This large cap high of day momentum. So I'm going to look at some of the large cap scanners here. MU, I mean, I'm probably not going to trade something that has such a high price, but I'm only trading one share, so, and I haven't made any trades today. I have all my settled funds available. So I could trade one share of MU. As long as I'm not risking more than $100, I'm good in a trade. That's my cutoff. I don't want to risk more than $100 per trade. Let's see. Is there like a large cap? Let's see. I can look at percent change gainers. See if anything pops up. By industry, top 10. I wonder what swim lessons is. That's funny. Let's see what that is. Swim lessons. I don't understand what that is, but what is the swim lessons watch list? On Think or Swim. Oh, it's a community-oriented chat room and resource. Okay. I don't know. That's what it says, swim lessons. So I don't know what that is, but I can see the silver futures, the VIX, the dollar in USDX index. All right, we'll just put the percent change gainers. So we're almost to the market open. Good luck, everybody. All right, I'm going to put my 5-minute chart on, and I'm going to look for opening range breakouts. Just kind of pop around, see what's going on. Because I'm interested in TSLL, but oh, something popped off my list. I hate that about the watch list on Thinkorswim. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of, look at that. It did that again. That's annoying. Okay, so I'm just gonna watch for the opening range breakout. Got my pink drink. This feels very patient. I'm like, ah. Oops. So we're 3 minutes in. Let's see what. Okay, so this is a very patient style. I kind of like this. Wolf speed's popping up. Interesting. SoFi. Ooh. That's not good. Okay, Nvidia moving up. Wait, I'm going to turn off the bell for the running up scanner because that's distracting me a little bit. All right. All right, now we have a 5-minute opening range. I'm going to look at Nvidia. And I'm going to look at Tesla. So let me get rid of Nokia. I don't want to look at too many things at once. Oops. All right, so I'm going to look at NVIDIA and Tesla. So I'm actually going to pull up Andrew Aziz's book again. Oh, Kindle Cloud Reader. All right, so stocks that have high volume, but also with numerous different orders being traded. So Tesla is known for being very liquid, right? NVIDIA broke a little bit above. Okay, ATR. Let's put the ATR back on because I need that. Okay, so the stock is above. The opening range must be significantly smaller than the stock's average true range. So am I reading this correctly that the average true range is down here? The opening range must be smaller than the average true range. Okay, if the average true range is below the opening range, it indicates low volatility and a high probability of a fake out or weak momentum, making the breakout unreliable. In this scenario, it is generally recommended to avoid the trade or wait for volume confirmation to prove institutional interest. So if I'm doing this correctly, we would want the average true range to be above. Ooh, good job. 31 cents a share? That's great. Great, Aligos. And you're in Apple long at 295. Awesome. Okay, that's great. Oh, I see you right away, right after the opening range you got in. Okay, right below. So here the 5-minute would have been here. So look, it completely mirrors it, this leveraged ETF. Ooh, that's good. Wow, $2 a share. That's great. That's awesome, Wayne. Oh my God, you guys are killing it today. Yeah, so Apple is continuing to pop up. Now we're almost at the 15-minute mark. Once we hit the 15-minute mark, I'll see if I can find a 15-minute opening range breakout. So I'm practicing looking for it. But here it almost broke out and then it didn't. On Tesla, it's trading within the range. So on the open with high volatility, use very short charts. Use 1 minute. Yeah, I mean, that's where I'll probably trade it. I'm just looking for the pattern, right? So like if I see something I like with Tesla, I'll probably switch to the 1 minute on TSLL. But it's not even, it's still inside that range. Yeah, no, I would definitely trade on the 1 minute for sure. So early, so close to the market open. But now, how do you determine your target? Do you use exit signals or so here Tesla is not leaving the range. Same thing with Nvidia. Sounds like this is a strategy that you're not going to get every day, right? But let's see, at 9:45, I'll look and see if I see something on the 15-minute opening range breakout. I'm just kind of practicing, seeing what's out there. BABA. Well, look at that. So this is the opening range breakout for BABA. I have to change my share price to 1. And then if I do get in on 1 share of something, I have to put a stop order immediately on the Well, Tesla's going into the toilet. BABA is popping up above. I don't see volume though. Oh, okay. So now I'm going to put a stop at 138.80. Okay, one share. Up. I put my stop too tight. So let's try this again. My stop should have been at the break. Well, at here, right? At this line here. So you're watching me learn live. So let's try this again. Okay, 138.92. So that's the top of the opening range. So that should be the stop, right? And it sold. Yeah. 6-cent spread, 13-cent. Whoa. This is why you practice with one share, guys. 2 red trades. Oh, shoot. I violated my timeout. I violated my timeout rule. I should have taken a timeout after the first red trade. I was thinking, oh, I'm only trading with one share, but I violated my rule. Bummer. Well, that's it for me then for the day, because after 2 red trades, you have to take a 30-minute timeout. I have to start over. You're watching my rules. I violated my rule. All right, so, all right. Timeout violation. Blah. All right, and then opening range breakout, opening range breakout. Well, let's see. Monitor. I'm going to move these over to Trader View. Ugh, I violated my rule, guys. Bummer. All right. Well, this is the reality of trading. Okay, so the initial risk here was 10 cents a share, so it was $1. And it was opening range breakout. And this was a full stop exit. And here so many mistakes. I got in late and I set stop to tight it should have been the top of the opening range, right? Opening range. All right. Now, my second one, let's see, where was the stop here? 138.21. Entry price, 138.92. So that is 71 cents. So my risk here was 71 cents. This is the opening range breakout. Here I had a full stop exit and I had a timeout violation. Bummer. Okay. I entered too high. I set the stop at the top of the opening range. I traded less than 15 minutes after last red trade. What? All right, so now I have to start the clock over. I can't scale up until I have 20 trades that meet certain criteria. And I violated my rule. All right, so, ugh. I'm down 85 cents. I'm down 85 cents and I have 2 red trades and I have a timeout violation. Learning new things is hard. Hope y'all doing better than me. I can't trade again because I am out for 30 minutes. So I won't be trading again before 10 a.m. But let's take a look on the 15-minute chart. It went up. It ultimately went up. Look at this. $4. Look at that. $3. $3 a share. 4. So should I have waited for confirmation of a candle above the opening range in order to feel more confident on it? This one is below the ATR, so that's supposed to be good. This one is a mess, so let's just forget that one. NVIDIA, below. So I wouldn't trade that. Tesla, below. Let's see. It's a lot on the large cap. This Palantir, NVIDIA, Nokia. So we can take these off. So Tesla, NVIDIA, blah. This was like a good possibility, but I got in here and it dipped down below here. So maybe I should have waited for a confirmation above the opening range. Okay, so that is one of my mistakes. I didn't wait for a candle to close above the opening range before I got in. And that was my mistake. So let me put that on my trader view. Okay, so I didn't get in late. I got in early. So got in. Okay, so wait a minute. I need to make sure that, so this was, okay, opening range breakout. I'm going to put 15-minute. I didn't wait for a candle to close above the opening range. So I got in early. Okay. I set the stop too tight. It should have been the top of the opening range. All right, so I actually got in too early. This is impatience. Oh, interesting. Okay, so he counts candles beforehand. All right, interesting. All right, so I am taking some detailed notes here. In this case, I was trading on the 15-minute ORB. I didn't wait for a candle to close above the opening range, so I got in too early. I set the stop too tight. It should have been the top of the opening range. That was the first one. Actually, let me go back. Copy. The second one, oh, I can't believe I had a timeout violation, guys. I'm so mad at myself about that. That's annoying. That's what happens when you're learning a new thing. You forget about the stuff you're supposed to be doing. And which is why I'm only trading with one share. I set the stop at the top of the opening range. And my question is this the correct stop placement? Okay, because I don't know. I'm learning, right? So, all right. I didn't wait for a candle to close above the opening range, so I got in too early. So, it happened within this candle because I was trading on the 5-minute chart. Okay, so according to AI, yes, waiting for a candle to close above the opening range is considered a crucial confirmation step to avoid false breakouts, which is what happened to me. Relying on a full candle closure ensures the price has sustained momentum, saving you from entering prematurely during volatile early session market noise. All right, guys, you saw it here. All right. I had a timeout violation, bummer, but I'm learning about the opening range breakout. So look at this. It went up $5, but the ATR was above this, okay? So you can see here, NVIDIA. Well, now it's above it, but what was my other question? Okay. All right. And so the ATR, I'm supposed to be reading the value rather than looking at its position relative to stock price. I'm still confused about the ATR, but I guess we'll have to work that out later on. All right, guys, it's 10 a.m. Thank you for a great discussion today. I have lots of homework. Clearly lots of learning to do on the opening range breakout, but you're watching me practice a brand new setup with one share, and I will get my recap out shortly. I'm also going to do my midweek update over on Substack. However, full disclosure, there's not much going on. and then I'll be here tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Let's keep learning 1% every day and trade smart.